Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's been a very long time, I'm very sorry. But today we are doing Noctis from Final Fantasy 15. You may be like, Hannah, how and why you haven't cosplayed him in ages? Yeah, I know, but I'm gonna shoot him today. And I'm very excited because I've never really gotten real pictures of Noctis. So I thought it was about time, and I've gotten a little bit of Final Fantasy 15 feels lately. So today is gonna be an experiment and an adventure because I haven't done his makeup in a long time. And I even have new lenses, and I hope I've gotten better at makeup, so it's gonna be a lot of new stuff. And if you want to look like Noctis, keep on watching. I've already started off with my base. It's foundation and powder only because I don't use concealer under my eyes because Noctis has a lot of dark circles. And then I went in with the powder, which we still don't know what it is. Just a basic ass loose powder. And I also tried baking. I'm trying to learn how it works. It's not going that well, which is why I'm not giving a tutorial to you guys on how I do it. If you want to know about the foundation, I have several other makeup tutorials that include that, but I think that we maybe want to save some time. If you would like a dedicated video just to making the base, then I could do that, of course, but otherwise just go back and look at my other tutorials. Also, I like my hoodie. I feel like my hoodie is kind of appropriate now that this very Noctis slash Riku lookalike Yozora is in Kingdom Hearts, sitting on top of Noctis's building, looking all smug with Noctis's music in Kingdom Hearts. So I thought, why not sport my very cute hoodie. This hoodie is from 6 On Clothing. They sent it to me, which was very, very kind. It's very cozy, it's very nice, it's very sturdy. It's not the right franchise, but it kind of almost is. So we've jumped concealer, which is a decision I've made. Adding this eye primer though, I've gotten a makeup calendar now that it's December. So I got an eye primer from Revolution. It only says eye primer. We're getting kind of basic stuff from the calendar, so I don't think it's stuff that they usually have. But I'm gonna throw this on because Noctis has a lot of stuff happening around his eyes. When I did Noctis before, like years ago, once again, I wore the lenses twin loops in digital blue that you can get from Assist Wig. It's the same series as the ones I use for Riku, and I use it for Shigo, and I use it for Anti-Aqua, and I will use it for Axel, which are really, really good for all those Kingdom Hearts characters, and a lot of like anime characters as well. But when I put them on this morning, I'm just putting on a nude eyeshadow, I realized that they are way too harsh and unnatural looking for Final Fantasy 15, which is based on reality. I put on another pair of lenses, which is actually the lenses I used for Kaine, so they are gray, but I'm gonna Photoshop them blue. I'm going in with a little bit of bronzer. Noctis is very, very pale, so I'm using the palest one I've got at the moment, which don't have too much of the red warmth because it's very cold looking. I'm using the Bronze Shimmer Highlight Revolution Makeup Revolution London. Yeah, that's what it's called. There's no color or anything. Yeah, no, I got this from a friend. Just to add a little bit of warmth, but not too much, and add a little bit of depth. If I come off as confused, it's because I am. I haven't done any makeup like this in a long time. I believe the most similar makeup I've done is Luna Freya, because almost all makeup I do for cosplay is very anime. It's very over the top. It's very Kingdom Hearts, which is not appropriate for cosplays like Noctis because he's HD and HD reality. Going down on the neck a little bit as well to make it blend. Okay, I'm going in with, so I used the darkest color for my cheeks, and I'm using the middle color now to go in around my nose and a little bit around my eyes to make it look like cohesive. With male characters, I always like to focus a lot of contour in here with my brow bone, where it goes to where the brow bone meets the nose bridge, basically. I don't know why I always liked doing it. I think it helps with making my face look more structured, and a more structured face, in my opinion, looks a lot more manly. So we don't want to make the nose look too thin for Noctis, because it does have a thin nose, but it's not like Barbie. I also like going around my nose flaps, which might sound like the weirdest thing ever, but if you look at pictures at him, his skin looks a little bit irritated around the nose, so I like to make it look a little bit darker here. And since this color is not only like brown, it has a little bit of orange in it, it will match very well when we go in with more like almost pink purpley tones later, so it will bring it all together without making it look too crazy. Because when I did the makeup before, I went in with like only pink and purple, and it made it look very cartoonish once again, and I don't really want to go too cartoonish. Noctis also have a lot of shadows going from this point out, which for some reason don't connect with his eye bags, but they add a little bit to it. So I'm adding a little bit up here, make it look like it all belongs together. So I have a little tiny fluffy brush, and I will go in with a bunch of pinks and purples. So something pinkish, purplish, but still brownish, not too crazy-ish, basically. I'll go in here in my eye bags, make them a little bit more prominent. We're also gonna go around the eyes here, like they're really irritated. Because remember, now we're not doing like regular beauty makeup. We're doing, because he doesn't wear makeup, we try to make it look like he doesn't wear makeup, which is why I put the eyeshadow in a lot of crazy places. But of course I would go in with a little bit of eyeliner and mascara and everything later. Anyways, but you know. So I think it really helps when you try to make something look like not too makeup-y, like with boys and such. I think it really helps to use like the same tones and the same colors all over your face. So which is why I use the bronzer in here and on my eyelids, because I want to make it look like it's his skin tone that makes this eyeshadow feeling rather than him putting on eyeshadow. So I'm back, and I've changed to a t-shirt instead because the hoodie was way too warm. So which is good for you wanting warm hoodies, then you can get the 6 on Clothing organization hoodie. Going in with a little bit more pink also around the nose to make it look a little bit more irritated. We've also redecorated the room, which is why I'm in a new place again. This is the closest I could get to a window, and windows are basically my only light source in this apartment. And it's not really a very good light source, because in Sweden the sun basically leaves us for like the winter half year feels. So it's very, very dark, which is why the background looks so dark, and why I probably am very overexposed. So I'm sorry if you can't see that too well, but there's nothing I can do right now, I'm sorry. So if you can't see me that good, then see this as a makeup podcast. So just listen to my instructions and do as I say. We're back. My camera stands on the box that I keep all my eye makeup in, and I wanted to grab this palette, which is the ColourPop pressed powder palette Sweet Talk. And I'm starting to go in with ICYMI and Meadow, which are these two. So very almost corally colors to get that pinkish but orangey tone that he has. Okay, There's a lot more shit happening now. I think we'll go in with a little bit of this one. It's like a brown that has a lot of purple in it. You can use it like I would use a brown eyeshadow, but to get that purple, almost sickly effect as well. I'm using it in the outer corners. Put it on the outer corners of my eyes just to deepen them, and when the tape comes, it will help to make the eyes look elongated and more dramatic as well. I still feel a little low on the pink purplish, and I don't know if that's just because I used to have a lot of pink and purplish in my old Noctis makeup and I therefore feel like I have to, but I'm going to add a little bit anyway, so better safe than sorry. Because once again, I'd rather add too much makeup than too little, actually, in this case. Yes, and this is a Morphe. I have no idea what's name. A Morphe Rosewood. It is purplish, pinkish. Oh, it looks a lot more. There we go. It's not that pink. It's a lot more purple than it appears. I still haven't really figured out how to work my camera. So it doesn't really always cooperate with me. There we go. Now we have a lot of more pink purplish around the eyes, and it's a little bit too much, but it's hard to put all these crazy eyeshadows on with a light hand, so I will go in with a fluffy brush and a little bit of nude. My kind of nude, so my skin color, very light beige. We'll soon go on to tape, because I need a tape to do his very iconic, very strange shaped eyebrows. So I will be back when I finish that. There we go, we are back with tape on our faces. I have a separate video on how to do that. I'm adding a little bit more contour around here. His face is not very contoured, but he looks a lot more manly than I do, so I will have to do something. I'm gonna go in and wipe off the baked powder now as well. I also noticed that he has a little bit of the pink orangey-ish color over his nose here, as if he's been sunburned almost. So I'm taking a little tiny dab of that one. So there we go. Now I'm gonna stop with all these stupid colors. We are doing the eyebrows. Eyeliner Brow Pencil Black. Noctis' eyebrows are very strange. They are very low down here. So I'm basically following the line of where the nose bridge goes into your rest of the face, so where it starts to go like into the eye socket, because his eyebrows are basically where they begin. He does have quite signature Square Enix eyebrows like Riku and the rest of the gang, where they go straight upward and then they go up and then they start to like slow down. So they go up and then they have like a little, not go down like regular eyebrows, but they kind of like start to go horizontally instead of upwards. It also really helps with trying to draw like fake hairs in here for me, is that my eyebrows actually end out here. They don't grow in there. So when I draw in with the color, they just like, it looks lighter in here than it does on the actual eyebrows, because on the eyebrow parts, the hair helps it to make it look darker. So if I go in like trying to draw like singular hair strands almost, it helps to sell the illusion of me having better eyebrows. We will go in with concealer. Taking a very tiny flat brush to go in and sculpt. I usually use this one, which is a lot bigger, but since I am a lot more scared about this eyebrow shape, I want a smaller one, so if I mess up, it's not as big of a problem, literally. Remember, when you do this now, you're removing a lot of the... You can accidentally remove some of your contouring or shadows you put up here. So if you feel like you've gone over and removed too much, then you have to go in back with some more. There we go. Speaking of Final Fantasy, how hype are you for Final Fantasy VII Remake? Because I am very hype. I'm so excited. Going in with the brown Crayola contour pencil to go in a little bit on the... He has quite prominent under eyelashes, so it almost creates like this anime kind of line. But if I put makeup on my under eyelashes, I would look very girly. So I would just do a little of the brown to try to just like shape the eye a little bit. But I don't want to go too heavy-handed, because then it will look very silly. So just on the outer corner to like darken it up a bit. Because also when he closes his eyes, which he does a lot in this game because he's a very sleepy prince, you can see that he has quite dark and actually long eyelashes. And adding too much of that will make it hard, because it will start to look more and more girly, because I don't have that like heavy stuff that can that can like make you see past that with like Riku. So I'm just trying to darken it up as much as possible, since he has very defined eyes without like going too crazy. And now to the part I despise the most. I will start to try and cover up my lips, because his lips are a lot thinner than mine, and his lips are very, very pale. But right now we're basically done. I'm just gonna cover up my my lips a little bit with the Assist Lip Concealer, and then I will elongate them a little bit here, just like I did with the Riku one. Maybe add a little bit of pink on the inside just to get that life look back. And we're done! I get stressed. Can you take on the other thing? I get so nervous.
No, I won't pick up.
And now we're back. So sorry that the battery went out and I don't have that much time, so I wasn't able to like wait for it to charge and then continue, because I have to leave for the shoot. But I didn't do that much after it broke down. I added a little bit more just darkness around. When I put on the wig, I realized that the eyes just kind of went away. Like I said, I usually do that when you have a dark wig, you usually have to put on a bit more makeup to actually make your eyes pop. I realized that when I put on a wig. So I took it off again, and then I added a little bit. With the brown Morphe pencil, I drew a little bit around the eye, so I added a little more dark stuff here and in here. And then I also added a very, very thin line of regular like eyeliner up here with my NYX Epic Ink Liner. Very, very thin, just to make it a little bit more dark, but we don't want to make it look too painted. I also added mascara, because the theater kid in me just can't go without having mascara on. So, but instead of doing the regular mascara motion with like whoop, 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 I just like put it in the as close as to the roots as possible, and then just like like a tiny little blink, like so the eyelashes mostly just like dab onto the mascara wand, so they get a little bit of product, but they don't get it out to the tip, and they don't get too much. Just because I wanted it to get even a little more darker, and I thought it looked kind of weird with my regular blonde eyelashes and a dark makeup around. I think that is all I did. I added a little bit more color here with a little lipstick that I had lying around. It didn't have the color or number on it, so it doesn't really matter. It was Make a Revolution, if you guys want to know. And I think that was it. I don't think I did that much else. And I hope to see you next time. And don't laugh at me! I'm cool.